I will truly miss Chernobyl. Chernobyl is like a deep wound that, when it heals, leaves behind its lasting mark, and it reminds you of itself over the years, with an extra scar that appears on your skin. Or perhaps it remains there, deep within our souls, in those hidden places where we keep our secrets, our fears, and our defeats. Defeats like the one that happened on the night of April 26, 1986, a night which changed the world. But today, Chernobyl is also so much more. I would tell you of a journey through time that began quietly, almost imperceptibly, and from the very first moment did not immediately drag me into its swirling vortex of history, unfolding dramas, and contrasting emotions, but instead, day after day, it was able to gradually conquer me in a crescendo of discoveries, unexpected encounters, and breathtaking sunsets, in a place that is more reminiscent of Lapland or a northern European country in the heart of autumn, and not, as one might expect, the most radioactive place in the world. Good morning, and welcome to this new video. We are here at the entrance to the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, a place known for its history and mystery. Let's get ready to find our capsule for tonight, which Daniele might also need, probably because of the unpredictable conditions here. As we look around, we notice that there is nothing inside the bubble. Absolutely nothing at all. It's not in the bubble, and it's not working, no matter how many times we check. Even worse, some people have started to show signs of fainting, possibly due to the stress or the strange atmosphere in this place. This is our detailed guide to the real reason we came to Ukraine. Imagine a trip that I had been carefully planning for many months, where I had paid several deposits, booked specific visits, and applied for special permits to fly a drone in certain restricted areas at particular times when it is not usually possible to fly a drone or visit those areas within the exclusion zone. And then suddenly everything was about to fall apart, fading away. Why? Because my guide, the person with whom I'd been in contact for many months, writing to me regularly and carefully planning this trip in great detail, told me I was sick. "I couldn't accompany you on your private tour tomorrow," he said. It felt, in that moment, like the end of my dream of visiting Chernobyl, a dream I had cherished for so long, because there were just over 12 hours to go before the tour was supposed to begin. Anyway, it's really truly cold outside, I'd say, especially for early October, so there are absolutely no worries. Maybe, just maybe, we'll go to a much warmer area now. At this particular point in time, when all hope seemed completely lost, the guide, who had been calling in sick just a few hours earlier, managed to find a suitable replacement. And so, at long last, we could finally begin our long-awaited journey to Chernobyl. Well, yes, despite all the unexpected difficulties and obstacles, in the end, incredibly but true, we are on this van, which in about 2 hours will depart and skip the whole city of Kyiv. We will be taken to our final destination. This journey will be very, very interesting. In the meantime, we had to sign and underwrite, quite literally with blood, a series of very particular and specific clauses, especially for those who have to fly with the drone. Therefore, we will take a look at these documents together. We were going to accept all of the unwritten rules that apply to the exclusion zone. In fact, the main clauses are that it is not possible to go out after 10 p.m. It is absolutely not allowed to visit the exclusion zone independently, that is, without the support of a guide or a private tour, whether you are familiar with the area or not. As for the drone rules, as I mentioned in the previous video dedicated to the rules on how to fly, there are some additional considerations to keep in mind. In Chernobyl, there are a sea of clauses and restrictions because it is simply never possible to fly over the nuclear power plant itself. It is absolutely not possible to fly in certain directions, especially those where sensitive or important objects might be filmed or observed, because let's remember, today is 2021, but in Chernobyl, within the exclusion zone, it is as if we are still living in the year 1986. The rules and limitations remain extremely strict, reflecting the ongoing concerns and the legacy of that tragic event. We made a quick stop here at the local supermarket to buy today's lunch and also to pick up something refreshing to drink. After finishing our shopping, we now have 1 more hour left before we need to move on. Okay, in just one more hour of travel, or rather, in one more hour of this journey, we'll finally arrive at our destination. And at that point, we'll truly be taking a significant step, or rather, making a leap into history. More precisely, we'll be stepping back in time all the way into 1986. April 26, 1986. Good evening. The consequences of the disaster at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the Soviet Union are almost entirely concentrating the world's attention.
Liquidate the radioactivity.
Here we are at the entrance to the exclusion zone. From this point on, we will truly be going down in history, as demonstrated by symbols like this one, or the shop just behind me. Now we have to go through all the required passport and document checks. The only thing is that there is a small yet significant problem, which is that I actually have 2 drones with me. 2 of them are DJI drones, and the other is a self-built FPV drone. But now let's say, even though we communicated everything in advance, making sure to inform everyone involved, unfortunately they just communicated to me here, directly from the guide, and they told me to hide the self-built drone. Honestly, this makes me feel a little uncomfortable since I had already communicated it, and above all, now we have a drone hidden away, a bit like this, at least for now, which is not ideal. So I'm not very convinced about this situation, and honestly I don't like it very much. Not too much, but I already knew, having done enough research beforehand, that this is more or less what you can generally expect to find in Chernobyl. The checks were passed, though not without a certain sense of appreciation. Let's say this is the story with the FPV drone, with which we managed to enter illegally during the check. Now we are heading towards some of the abandoned villages. Today will be dedicated to exploring and experiencing these forgotten places. But why am I talking about the outer zone? In the days after the explosion of Reactor 4, a circle was drawn, marking a 30 square kilometer area around the nuclear power plant. Piatna Rascalione Grafitovei Klaci, Poggiorni a Franco, Allo Ivankov. So, can you manage in Pripyat given these circumstances? So, what did I hear and what does it mean? So, how much space can you really manage in such a place? And how relevant does it seem today, hearing all of this, especially after the last 2 years spent at home, confined in yellow, red and white zones? Except that the exclusion zone at Chernobyl is still in place, even now, after 35 long years, and it continues to function more or less in this way. Once you have passed the checkpoint, we have the opportunity to visit and explore the exclusion zone. Either the outermost area, which extends for approximately 20 kilometers, or visit the last 10 kilometers, and therefore the entire area that also includes Pripyat with the power plant. But today, we will stay here, and then in the evening, we will go to sleep in our mysterious hotel in Chernobyl. Our tour here in Chernobyl begins at the abandoned summer camps, which are now silent and deserted, where the children say, as it happens in almost all places in the world. And so we find ourselves in this forest, and it's incredible because it seems like a magical place. In some ways, you can only hear the noises of the plants and the wind shaking the trees. When we arrived, we traveled this road with the van, noticing that all the trees were completely burnt and blackened, because last year, specifically in 2020, there were some very important and significant fires here that destroyed many trees. I chose the month of October for several different reasons. Obviously, if you, like me, really love flying with drones, it will clearly be important to have good weather. I have read from a variety of statistics gathered from different sources here and there that October is considered to be the least rainy month here in Ukraine, and therefore this should increase the possibilities and opportunities for flying with our beloved drones. Furthermore, in October, with the arrival of autumn as a beautiful and colorful season, we will have all the trees in the area that are starting to become more colorful, displaying 1,000 different shades and hues, and listening to the opinions and thoughts of those who live here or who come to visit every day. October and therefore autumn seem to be the very best months. This is mainly because of the peacefulness and quietness that can be found here, and the occasional animal or two that might unexpectedly jump on us, especially spiders, usually small spiders, which makes it feel just like being on a hike, trekking in the mountains. We are taking a short break here for some more photos, as our first flights have been completed, obviously. Today, there is still the process of settling in, but already, starting tomorrow, we will begin to do some serious and important things. Now, we have stopped here in Chernobyl City, which is the only place in the area where there is still life, with about 2,000 people living here. There are all the necessary utilities available, including internet access, and it is here where we will be sleeping for a few nights. And Now, let's take a moment to truly enjoy this lunch, which looks incredibly tasty and inviting. The colors and aroma make it even more appealing, and I am eager to savor every bite. Anyway, I will say goodbye for now, as the first episode comes to an end here. Thank you for joining me on this journey so far. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. I look forward to seeing you in the next episodes, where we will have lots of news and new experiences to share. Today is a special day, dedicated to the visit of Pripyat, the symbolic city. Pripyat stands as a powerful reminder of history, and our visit will give us the chance to learn more about its unique story and significance. Stay tuned as we